Urgent. You pat your pocket and it's empty. That instant spike of panic, the cold sweat when you realize your phone is missing, is the result of a meticulously engineered playbook. Tech giants rely on a 3-step formula to hijack our minds, harvest our data, and exploit human bodies. It starts with persuasive design. In the digital economy, the core commodity isn't software or hardware, it's human attention. Companies spend billions figuring out exactly how to hold yours hostage. The foundation of this strategy rests on a concept called intermittent variable rewards, discovered in the 1950s by behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner. He found that if you link an action to a random, unpredictable reward, it rapidly builds a deeply ingrained habit. Today, several billion people carry a slot machine in their pockets. You pull to refresh a feed, or check a push notification, and wait to see what you get: a like, a match, or a social media streak. These randomized psychological rewards are explicitly designed to create an addictive feedback loop. To keep you in that loop, they remove natural stopping points. Researchers at Cornell once conducted an experiment where subjects ate soup from a bowl that secretly, slowly refilled from the bottom. People eating from these bottomless bowls consumed 73% more food, simply because their brain never received the visual cue that the bowl was empty. This diagram illustrates how modern platforms apply that exact logic. Infinite scrolling feeds and countdown timers that autoplay the next video act as digital bottomless bowls. They bypass your conscious choice to keep consuming. These digital environments are engineered to prioritize continuous engagement. They function by identifying and exploiting human psychological vulnerabilities to ensure we stay connected. Once these platforms have your attention, the next step is extracting your personal information. They achieve this using dark patterns, deceptive user interface designs meant to manipulate you into making choices that benefit the corporation. You encounter these constantly: confusing cookie consent banners or Roach Motel subscriptions that are easy to enter but nearly impossible to cancel. These interface interferences are designed to wear you down until you surrender your data simply out of frustration. Even when you actively try to protect your data, tech giants often track you anyway. In Google Chrome's incognito mode, users believed they were browsing privately. A massive lawsuit revealed Google was secretly tracking those sessions regardless, gathering intimate browsing habits to power their analytics, ultimately resulting in a settlement to destroy billions of records. This extraction regularly crosses into the physical world. When Google sent out cars to photograph neighborhoods for Street View, those vehicles were quietly collecting data from unsecured private Wi-Fi networks, sweeping up passwords and personal emails as they drove past people's homes. Through a program known internally as Android Lockbox, Google used its mobile operating system to secretly monitor how often users opened rival applications. This gave them near-perfect real-time intelligence on emerging competitors. Amazon employs a similar strategy. By analyzing proprietary sales data from independent third-party merchants on its platform, Amazon identifies top-performing items. They then manufacture and heavily promote direct copycat versions under their own private label, undercutting the original sellers. When Congress has confronted tech executives about these predatory data practices during antitrust hearings, the responses have consistently been evasive. They rely on technicalities and vague claims of improving user health to dodge accountability. This constant data mining provides near-perfect market intelligence. It allows tech giants to act as gatekeepers, picking winners and losers in the global economy. That frictionless digital experience, the convenience of clicking a button and having a package arrive 48 hours later, relies entirely on the grueling physical reality of the human beings executing those orders. A recent interim report from the Senate Help Committee on Amazon's warehouse safety practices exposes just how dangerous this fulfillment system is, particularly during high-volume sales events. This chart tracks worker injuries per 100 employees. The industry average sits well below 5, but Amazon's internal rate reaches nearly 45. Isolating the timeline reveals injuries spike during Prime Day and the holiday season, as Amazon forces understaffed workers into back-to-back 12-hour shifts. In the rush to meet impossible quotas, management actively bypasses basic safety protocols. In one facility preparing for Prime Day, managers installed a new heavy conveyor belt, but intentionally chose not to activate its automatic safety stop feature to save time. The belt wouldn't halt when overloaded, forcing workers to manually clear heavy packages as they piled up and fell off the sides. E-commerce monopolies extract their revenue directly through the calculated physical exploitation and breaking of the working class. Every element we've examined, the psychological hooks, the covert data tracking, the relentless physical quotas, forms the architecture of an economic system known as surveillance capitalism. In this economic model, your time and attention serve as the industrial raw material. You are the resource being harvested for profit. By harvesting your psychological impulses, absorbing the data of rival companies, and pushing human laborers past their physical limits, these monopolies have amassed a level of wealth and power that allows them to dictate terms to governments and entire industries. The clean, brightly colored interfaces of our favorite applications are highly effective masks. Beneath that polished surface operates a ruthless machine designed strictly for extraction. The next time you are confronted with a confusing cookie banner, find yourself endlessly scrolling a feed, or click a one-touch purchase button, pay attention to the mechanics at play. The machinery of surveillance capitalism relies entirely on our passive participation. It's time we stop living our digital lives on autopilot and reclaim our autonomy from the system.